Okay, user far breakfast 5808 has many questions, so I'll at least answer a few of them, and then whoever wants answers to other ones, let me know. So first, he asks, just to clarify, it is believed by most scholars that the Exodus, as depicted in the Bible, did not actually happen. Then, following from the above, do scholars indeed believe that Exodus may have been based on memories or incidents from other non-Israelite cultures? Um, well, so there's not exactly any consensus on this. If you mean, can we historically prove that there were plagues and death of the firstborn and the parting of the sea and so on and so forth? There's no way to historically prove that. Um, is this material based somehow on distant traditions of the past? That's harder to say. What evidence do we have? Not a whole lot. Um, so when I was taking an introduction to Old Testament a decade ago now with Michael Coogan, Michael Coogan is the series editor for Oxford Biblical Studies. So he's a guy that knows a thing or two. He's an Old Testament specialist, a Syriologist, and so forth. And so when we were talking about the Exodus in this class, I remember him talking about this issue of the historicity of the story, and if it's at all plausible and whatever. And he basically offered what he saw as a demythologized kind of version of it. He was impressed by the mention, for example, that there was some small group that fled out of Egypt and that they were pursued by Egyptians, and mentioned that their wheels got stuck in the mud, that the Egyptians' wheels got stuck in the mud. So he was pointing out like this kind of very minor tradition sounded to him like something that could have happened. So maybe not plagues and pillars of fire and so on and so forth. But maybe something like a small group of people escaping from Egypt, and then their pursuers got their wheels stuck in the mud. That's something that very much could have happened. I taught an introduction to Old Testament class also quite a while ago, and we run through all the sort of proposed historical, perhaps backgrounds of the different plagues and things so far. That the volcanoes and earthquakes and so on and so forth. They're all different kinds of possible echoes and distant memories of the past these could be connected to. It's really hard to say, but yeah, scholars have spent a lot of time thinking about that. The consensus doesn't seem to have developed, and scholars seem to have, for the most part, moved past that kind of question. So that's an answer to the first couple of questions anyway. So that will do for the moment.